Live from the Drew Estate Cigar Studio and the Gurkha Cigar Studio in the great state of New Hampshire, welcome to the Spare Notes series with your hosts, Matt Tabacco, William Cooper, and Smokin' Nicole.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Spare Notes series. My name is Matt Tabacco from SmokingTobacco.com, and I am joined once again by the beautiful Smokin' Nicole and our very good friend, Mr. William Cooper of Cigar-Coop.com in Indian Trail, North Carolina.
Hello.
North Carolina is I know we're going to talk about it tonight, so I figured let's just get going now. But North Carolina is it's a very somber place right now.
Well, it's been double somber because there was a second death.
Oh yes, that's right.
An older, and I'm talking about Ned Jarrett.
Ned Jarrett.
Jarrett was a legend down here too. So it's been a very rough month in North Carolina.
It's been a very rough year for NASCAR in general. I mean,
yeah.
Greg Biffle died, and his whole family in that plane crash.
Yep. Yeah. So it's been a very, very hard. I know.
You know, I'll be honest with you. It's just, I don't know. It's it's a really tough time to be an automotive racing fan.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows me personally knows that Kyle Busch was my guy. The 2019 championship flag is flowing on the front of our house right now. Was very shocked when that happened. You know, for me, it was like I grew up in a family where it was all number 3. It was that black car.
Right.
And that's what it was. And I remember 2001. I remember. I remember the press conference.
I remember too. I mean, I wasn't living down here when that happened, but if you're driving on I-85, his memories are every day. Dale Earnhardt Boulevard. Yep.
100%. 100%. And it's funny because Nicole wasn't really into it back then. And I remember she was like, "Why do you keep comparing it?" I'm like, "You gotta understand something. This sport hasn't had a loss like this since that day. I mean, this is like the first time since that happened that has happened, pretty much.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it literally happened to the same race team, which is also like mind blowing. Richard Childress has had to lose 2 top tier drivers suddenly in the middle of a season. Boom, gone, dead. And it's just, I feel for that guy. I mean, believe me, I feel for the Bush family too. I mean, the most. I mean, they lost their family member, but like to think about Richard Childress. I mean, holy shit, that's because like for him, this is like reliving that other nightmare all over again.
Yeah, this one I'm more of an IndyCar guy. That being said, this one really hit home for me. How Kyle died, unfortunately.
Yes.
I was telling a few people I kind of suspected that this was what was going on because I know a lot about that. Just obviously being a survivor of sepsis, so a very lucky survivor.
Yes.
That I count my blessings. So a guy like him, who I'll say was probably in better health than I was when I got it, it still took his life.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And the other thing I want to add to that, because I think it should be, because we also had our own scare with Anastasia last year.
Yeah.
You know all the details on.
Right.
And I won't get into all of it now, just because I don't want to spend the time. But it's really not the place. But you know all of the details.
There were parallels.
Yes.
So I won't get into details, but so you understand what certain things and could lead to certain things. Yes.
And I will add this is like you kind of made a point, like he was maybe a lot healthier than you were when you got it. also has a lot more money than all of us, and being a
Yeah.
professional athlete has access, to the best, the
Yeah.
quote unquote the best healthcare, whatever. I see Nicholas Perdomo is with us too, and I'm glad he's here because his mom's a big part of this too.
Yeah.
What I'm about to say, because his mom actually said this to us, Janine. And having said all that, you think like, oh, millionaire, famous race car driver, he's probably got like the best people, and yet, not saying that maybe they didn't try whatever, but that doesn't always guarantee that like you survive everything.
No.
And doctors are not miracle workers, necessarily.
I was told it was a miracle I survived in a lot of ways because I have a heart murmur. Okay, so the heart murmur, when this stuff gets into your blood, it basically opens the floodgates for the bacteria to get to your heart.
Right, and then it pumps through.
How my heart was not infected, they say was a miracle.
Yeah, that's a miracle.
Yeah, and they had to treat it like I had a heart. I still had to get treatment like I was a heart infection now, which is hard. But I just can't imagine what he went through, Kyle, and his family. I just tell you, as someone who spent time in ICU over this, I'm at tears, And you and I talked about Anastasia's situation. I remember I was in Dubai and we had a conversation on stuff too. And lucky it didn't get to a point with that but obviously you went through some challenges with that too. There's no cure for sepsis other than an antibiotic. And I tell people, like, I support an organization called sepsis.org, and they're not about finding a cure for sepsis. It's about awareness, and they promote awareness. So I always tell people, go check out the website, learn what the symptoms are ahead of time. Because when you hear someone dies of complications, it's usually sepsis.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, it is not something that you hear a lot about. Nicole's stepsister also had a very dangerous scare with sepsis recently.
Like I said, it was interesting that that the family came out and said sepsis as opposed to complications from pneumonia. And as much as you don't like turning something like this in, it created a lot of awareness. Which a lot of people did not know. People knew I had it, so a lot of people were asking me questions on this, obviously. But yeah, it has created some awareness, and it's important to have that awareness, is what I will tell you, whether it's you or a loved one. Yeah.
One of the things we talked about too is that a lot of people don't realize how physical of a sport NASCAR is, and so, like.
Or any automotive racing.
Yeah, and slight parallel to massage. Like, for example, it's contraindication to get a massage when you've been drinking because it pushes it through your lymphatic system. Same as if you have a cold, you're not supposed to get a massage because it will like tenfold make your cold worse because you're pushing it through your lymphatic system in your body. So like if he was already suffering with pneumonia and he was still racing, all of the force on him that he was experiencing in the suit and racing was probably like pushing the pneumonia through his body even worse from him pushing through, which like probably made the sepsis more severe, like more quickly.
Yeah. The other thing too is I love how ignorant people are when they talk shit about, professional racing. Like, oh, they're not athletes. Oh, they're not athletes. They're in a car. And I just think that and I really do. It's like just walk around with a shirt that says "I'm stupid." If you don't realize how athletic you need to be be in a race car and do what they do, you really have no clue. You really don't. You have no clue. People don't know what it's like. Like, oh, I know what it's like to go fast. Let me tell you something. You don't know what fast is. Most of you out there, you don't know what fast is. Yeah, you truly. Going fast on the highway, you don't know what fast is. You don't. And when those guys get in the cars, same with Formula One, IndyCar, even today I was at New England Dragway for NHRA, Top Fuel Dragsters. A little bit different because it's shorter, but when you're in a full on 400 miles in those cars on that track. In that heat, at that speed, there's a G-force in that car, the same as it would be in a fighter jet. There's a force that's holding you in that car the whole time you're going. They have those suits that they wear have a special system. When they get put in the car and they get all hooked up, in the crew, hooks them all in. They have the Hans device, which holds the neck still because of Dale. So that way, in the event of a crash, the head can't snap forward. That's how Dale died. The other thing that they hook them up to is a cooling system. They hook them up to a cooling system that literally runs cold water through the suit to keep them cool, so that they don't have issues. And there has been times where those suits don't work, and it's moving warm air through you. I tell you, that is brutal. When he was at Watkins Glen, and he was already fighting something, and he radioed into the crew chief and said that I need the doctor at the bus, like waiting, like ready to go when I get out of the car. Knowing that he was in that car for a few weeks fighting something, and especially, right before he died, he had won the truck race in Dover. So again, in the car, going around a couple hundred miles, knowing that sepsis was probably brewing, and it was being forced, whatever was going on with it, like that, like people don't realize how much all of that information is true and is scary. And I'm sure there's a lot of drivers out there that maybe would have sat out a few races, but he wasn't one of those people. And, a lot of shoulda, coulda, woulda, a lot of question marks. I don't know, but at the end of the day is he was a real competitor, and he wasn't going to let anything stop him. I don't think that everyone kind of knew how threatening it was going to be, but looking back, I mean, yeah, that definitely did not help to, Nicole's point.
Nope, I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, and and to be honest with you, this is probably one of the best comments that Alan's actually ever made, because it really is a good point. He said, I never understood how some of the drivers, he's talking about what's called the double. How Jeff Gordon, Robbie Gordon could physically and mentally drive the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 the same day. So on Memorial Day every year, there's the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600. And some drivers over the years have, like Jeff, Robbie, Tony Stewart's done it. I think he was the last one to successfully do it. Kyle Larson did it the last 2 years. It's called the double, where you go to Indy, you run the 500, and then the second that race is over, you get in a plane, you fly right to Charlotte, and you get in a stock car, and you go 600 miles in the Coke 600. And the last person to successfully complete all 1,100 miles was Tony Stewart. And he's right. 500 miles, 400 miles, that's long. 600 miles is the longest race of the year for them. But to think you're going 500 miles in an Indy car, and then you're going 600 miles in a stock car. He's right. That's a lot. Like, there's a reason why more people don't try it. It's because,
This is the guy who tells me the Indy 500 is not important. Interesting. Okay.
That is interesting. But the interesting thing is he's right.
He is not the Indy 500 for me for years, and he's actually making a comment on that, something positive. So I would take that serious. Yeah.
And honestly, he's right. He actually, I have to say, Alan made a very good comment tonight. This is, I really like it, and you know why I bring it up, because I'm like, no, he's right.
Nobody watches the Indy 500, Alan. That's what you told me, though. I mean,
gotta kiss the bricks, get the milk.
Yeah.
Come on, real race fans know. Come on, y'all. But yeah, anyway, we wanted to take a minute to talk about that, because it is important, and especially with the sepsis. And Coop's a survivor of sepsis, and guys, just be aware of it. It's it really, and Coop, I think you can attest to this. It can just sneak up on you.
Yeah, I didn't have pneumonia, by the way. I had a infection that they believe was tied to strep, but I had no symptoms of the strep. What happened is I just started getting sick. So the bacteria in my body didn't give me those initial things that you would have from an infection. It was in the body, and there was just no acute symptoms until this thing started getting in my bloodstream. So, and I was getting very weak and lethargic and stuff like that. So this thing can sneak up on you is what I'm saying. Like, you may not know what happened. I've had to make a lot of lifestyle changes and the other thing is I'm immunocompromised because of a medication I take for my skin. So so I've had to make a lot of lifestyle changes because of that. So, I had to, it's just no choice.
Yeah, no, I get you. I mean, it's tough, and I'm not saying this to be funny, but like it's harder getting old because it's something
Well,
that we all have to face, and like as you get older, these things happen, and
So yeah, and on top of that, what happened is when I got sepsis, I was also diagnosed with diabetes, and that's under control now, and I'm at pre-diabetic levels. I had to make some. Funny the way I eat. So you think, right? But,
I know we know how you eat, yeah.
That I haven't changed that, but what happens is the diabetes accelerates some of this stuff that would normally your body
Sure.
be able to fight off. So,
Yeah, my grandmother had type 2, and then she had a whole health, and she had type 2, and then it was like all these other things happened. She started getting like liver failure, kidney failure, congestive heart failure, like stuff like that, and it all just rolled for her. Yeah, very horrible. So I know that too. I get that. It sucks. Didn't your grandmother have diabetes? Your grandfather?
My grandfather did. My grandmother didn't. My mother has it.
You're on your mom's side?
No, on my dad's side.
Your dad's father had it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It is. It's a tough thing to live with. It really is.
Yeah.
But that's that. That's we wanted to take a minute to touch on that. But let's take
anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. It can happen to anybody. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yep.
41-year-old millionaire race car driver. He died of sepsis like that.
Yep.
Don't matter. Anyone can die. But let's talk about, really quickly, some of the people that help make our show happen. First, we're going to talk about our friends at Nova Cigar, making Nova big every week here at Smoking Tobacco. Sorry, I had to catch my breath there. I almost did that thing where like you skip over a beat, but I'm good. Nova Cigars are great. They had the Falcon at PCA 2026, which I'm excited to try. I don't know if I got any of those, but I'm sure we'll get some at some point. And as well as our friends at Perdomo Cigars, featuring our 2025 Cigar of the Year for the Perdomo Legacy, Nicaraguan Shade-Grown Epicure, as well as our 2025 Factory of the Year, Tabacalera Perdomo. Perdomo Cigars stand for quality, tradition, and excellence. Coop, what are you smoking with us tonight?
Well, I am going to light up. You'll be seeing a review of this on Monday on Cigar Coop. The Rocky Patel 30th. This is the Toro. This is the Toro size, and it has that wonderful flat box press, what I like on this.
Yeah. It looks cool. Really liked it. Did not love it, but really liked it. It's a good cigar.
I think that's a fair assessment of this cigar.
Yeah.
I am a fan of a lot of Rocky cigars, though.
I'll tell you, Rocky's put out some really great stuff in the last few years.
He's had some cigar. He's had Cigar of the Years, a lot of top fives from me. So, he is doing. And I'll say this: no one does anything better with San Andreas than Rocky. When it comes to San Andreas, he knows what he's doing with that wrapper.
He does. He's pretty good. He's pretty good with San Andreas.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole, what are you smoking tonight?
I'm smoking the Sombra Mesa Elegante and Cedros.
Look at that. Nice dark wrapper, dark ash.
Yep.
Coincidentally, Steven is excuse me, let that one sneak up on me. Steven is he lives here in New Hampshire, so he's here with us a lot. But he's currently at Twin Smoke Shop. Shout out to Twins and Kurt Kendall and Co. Pat actually texted me and reminded me. He was like, soccer event tonight. And I was like, I cannot make it, but
this is the one where he was making posts about wearing a crown.
Yeah, do we have that? I want to bring that up. It was so funny.
No, they're making me wear this crown. And
yeah. I think it'd make me wear it. I don't know. Maybe. And it was just like, oh my God. He just was like whining about it. It was so funny.
Secretly wants
I'll wear a crown, you know.
I know.
He wants to.
He wants
to, but he
Exactly.
wants people to think that he's like, it's not really me, but I'll do it. But like, he's like, I want that.
Yeah.
Like when you go to Burger King and they go, do you want the crown? He's like, I mean, he probably, I'm not even going to do it. But he probably gives them the whole spiel and they're like, dude, do you want the fucking thing or not? And he's like, I mean, I'll take it. And he wears it. And
And he drives.
you know he does.
And I'll have the crown. crown.
I mean, is it really my way if I don't wear the crown? And then some, like, Burger King employees, like,
Dude,
you're holding up the fucking line. Like, do you want it or not?
Tell me I can have onion rings, but fries and onion.
It's so
I
true.
can have my way, but I can't mix the fries with the onion rings. Come on.
I said no tomatoes. This isn't my way.
Okay,
Oh my
give me the
God.
crown give me my crown at least.
I wonder if they have him on a throne.
Oh, they
I
probably
know.
do, and he's probably acting like he wants nothing to do with it, but secretly he's like, yes, this is where I belong. They're like, Steve, you're the king tonight. They're making me do it, and he's like, that's fucking right. Take notice.
Who buys cigars? I don't care.
I mean, my cigars are okay. They're better than anything in that humidor, but they're all right. They try. He's almost like a little Trumpy. You know what I mean? He's like, well, he's just like. Oh, it's funny. It really is. I'm smoking the Attenuation from Domain. Now, this is the first Domain that I've smoked.
Great line.
And I've been meaning to get Daniel on the show. And I really like this. This is a good cigar. And there's something about Domain that I want to talk about a little bit later when we talk about the trade show. Because I want to know how much you know about it. And I find it very interesting. I touched on it briefly on the regular show, but I wanted to bring it up again with you. But as always, we are cutting and lighting our cigars with none other than ST Dupont. That's right, ST Dupont. Featuring the new Dupont table lighter. You can build a house with that. Oh, it's like a brick. It's nice. It's big. You can take it everywhere you go, but I wouldn't. It's a table lighter. You leave it at home, leave it in the lounge.
Best soft flame lighter I've ever used.
Right? Right?
Now, I know you've had the Defi Extreme. I haven't used that yet, but
The Defi Windproof.
Oh, yep. This is fantastic. This lighter. It's renew
Who
your
has the
faith
color
in
I
soft
want?
I know, you got the black and gold. She wants the black and gold.
I wonder if it's gonna win accessory of the year with you guys. I don't do an accessory of the year, but this has got to be a contender. I would say at a minimum.
It might.
Absolutely. It absolutely is. I mean, it's a little early. There's some other stuff out there, but I don't know. DuPont could be going for the 3-peat. It's really tough to say. It really is. It's tough to say. But I at the end of the day, we got a long road ahead of us. We'll find out, but it is definitely up there. It is a contender. It's a great product. It's hard to compete with DuPont. They make the best stuff.
We'll get into the show stuff, but the collections that they introduced, there wasn't a lot of new models, right? There were 2 new models I could think of. One was the table lighter, the other was the swivel lighter.
The Twiggy, the torch. I think they just call it torch.
The torch, yeah. But those collections were like, oh my goodness, I gotta have one of each of those. Is what I kept thinking. So.
Yeah, they always continue to impress. They always continue to impress, and the papeté was awesome with the sponge pattern in the lacquer.
Wasn't that amazing? Yeah,
that was beautiful. That was really beautiful, all done by hand. And then what was even more impressive was the Maquillé collection,
and they had the guy there painting.
Yes,
there,
yeah, and I believe Les said it takes him 30 days to do one lighter.
Yeah, there was
because it's all done just one stroke at a time by hand, very slow, like when you see it, you're like. There's no way that was, there's no way, that was made by machine. It's like, no, that was done by hand.
And they're all one of a kind is what happens because of that.
Yeah, I mean, those lighters are, I mean, maybe you're not into that kind of art, but when you put it on that lighter, I mean, that's something worth having. I mean, that's just for the sheer appreciation of what it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
wow.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Did you see it? You were in the booth. You saw him doing it, right?
Yeah.
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 I mean, I tried not to bother him.
Oh, yeah. I didn't bother. I didn't talk to him. Believe me, I wanted to, but I'm like, no, just watch and enjoy.
That's
Like,
kind of
let
what we
him
did, yeah.
let him do his thing because that's he needs to be in the zone.
Yeah.
That was really really cool. That was really really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. They had this was like I said, as far as collections go, this might have been the best set of collections I've seen DuPont release ever. The Geode was another one I was in love with.
Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
The Geode, yeah, they were really good. They brought back Nicole. I think you probably saw it's the Dust is coming back, or there's a new
Yes.
iteration of the Dust. I know you have one of those.
Yes.
Which wow, I said, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. And that's an amazing process that they do to lacquer that dust on. It's not just like they don't just like sprinkle it on. It's work.
Yeah, and they have the matching pen, which I got to get her the matching pen so that way she has that. I think
Yeah.
there's a Legrand now with it.
I think so too.
So
They went heavy into Legrand and Line 2 this year, and I understand that because those are their flagship ones.
yeah,
But there was definitely that they were leaning heavily with a lot of those in these collections this year.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, they had obviously some biggies, and Biggie seems to be now the lighter that's the one if you want like a more affordable DuPont. That's emerged, I think, as a monster for them right now.
I think for a long time it was Maxi Jet. Everybody had a Maxi Jet.
I think it was, and Maxi Jet's great, but this thing, and look, I believe you guys gave it accessory of the year.
We did.
I just reviewed it for the first time this year, and it was really a great lighter. The Fuente one, so I have the Fuente Cutter one coming tomorrow. That review, but that Biggie, and I was always a Slimmy and Maxi fan, but the Biggie with that fuel tank makes a huge difference, and that flame is great on that thing too.
I think that it's a little bit bigger than a Maxi Jet, but it gives you a lot more punch, a lot more fuel.
Yeah.
It's easy to, customize and do different, branding collabs and all this other stuff. So I think you're right. I think it makes more sense. The Maxi Jet is a great lighter. I have several of them. I love them. I'll be honest, I have not used them in a while, but it's not because I don't care. It's just there's like the Biggie and some of the other ones have just really kind of taken over. And to be honest with you, I would not be shocked if Maxi Jet gets phased out in the next couple of years because I feel like it'll be kind of irrelevant.
Well, they had Mega Jet, which was the flat flame on the Max. Is the flat flame and the Maxi Jet. I think that I can see that one also getting, which is a great lighter, by the way. I have two of those now.
Yeah.
Those Mega Jets, but that Biggie I think that's gonna be like right up there with the Line and the Legrand. I think you got to see that. It's gonna be the three main go-to markets that they're gonna have because that Biggie is fantastic. That lighter, absolutely worthy of an accessory of the year. You did very good with all three of your accessory of the years you've had, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
The sad thing is it really wasn't that hard. That was one of the easier awards to do. Because the competition was just a little bit more clear,
Yeah.
Cigar of the Year is always the worst one, but the accessory of the year is actually one of the easier ones because, it's not as close usually. Oh, look, everyone's tuning in here. This is awesome. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, kind of using that to segue right into the show. I mean, which now we've covered DuPont, but yeah, I mean, DuPont I think had a great show and a lot of collections, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of fun stuff. And I know Les Mann is currently on his way back from Paris. So
I'm gonna see Les this week. So yeah,
you're gonna get the lowdown on what's coming because he's over there having his annual meeting to find out what's coming down the pipe, and so I think it's gonna be an exciting time, very very exciting time.
DuPont's one of these companies, and now that they've moved the show earlier in the year, we're seeing more companies do this, where they go into the show and they have a lot of stuff, but their approach is we're going to show you what we're doing, most of the stuff we're doing for the calendar year. So I've seen like Saka does that, Pete Johnson does that, as opposed to someone like STG, they don't do that. STG will show you what they have coming out in the next 30 to 60 days, which so they kind of take a different approach with that. But DuPont, I like when they give you the preview of everything through the year. And there's some things they didn't have a lot of information on yet that they were showing. So I think that like astrology collection was still kind of a little details still to come.
To be fair, STG releases like 40 SKUs a year. So I mean,
Well, yeah, and they had
it makes sense.
yeah.
But everybody else, no.
Their book was like nuts.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, they had like a release book that they had on the reps had on the tables, and I was able to swipe one from them.
Do you have it? Is it over here?
I don't know where it is.
I know we have it somewhere.
But it's like it was literally like 40 pages long with like all the information.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's huge.
They so there was
Actually,
that was a I know I saw Nicole at the booth this year.
Oh wait, I do have it.
I ran into Nicole, by the way. We did a great job. She was basically taking one for the team because she had an interview booth, right?
Yes.
It's a tall task.
He was on his very best behavior though. He didn't want to push it too much with me.
Yeah, no, he was on his best behavior. It seemed like 'cause I was peeking a little, but that booth was a little mayhem because they brought back General and Fords together this year.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that was a big, and they used the same size booths as they had for Fords, where they had one, they used the same size booths.
It was a big booth. There was a lot of chaos. I did not personally. I mean, we did as a team, but personally, I spent very little time in there, and which I was happy about because it was too overwhelming for me. I had so many other places to be. But I did pop in. I did spend some time, with some of my faves. I saw Dave Mealy. I saw Matt
Great guy,
Booth.
Dave Mealy, yeah.
Yeah, I saw Matt Booth. Saw Lindsay. She was over there rocking the Meyer and Dutch
miss Lindsay.
section.
I miss Lindsay because we didn't get the Myron Dutch, unfortunately.
Yeah, she's cool. She's cool.
I like Lindsay. She's very cool, yeah.
Yeah. So I saw my faves. We hung out a little bit, but like that was it. I didn't, dig through that, mountain of. I was like, that's a lot for me. So they went in there and did it.
They were very much leaning into the under $15 cigars, or for the most part. They were leaning very heavily into that.
Yep.
And what Steve Abbott told me, the reason why they brought all the brands together is they made a decision globally to have 4 global brands that they're going to kind of build around. And the 4 global brands they told me were Macanudo, CAO, Cohiba, which they call Silencio in other countries, and Alec Bradley. Alec Bradley's getting a big global push this year, in the next year. So it's not that the other ones are going to be ignored, but for the most part, these are going to be the ones they focus on internationally, like U.S. and abroad. So I thought that was a good move that they were doing with that.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they're the only company on that floor that's publicly traded. They're the only company on that floor that probably has as many SKUs as they have. I mean, even Drew Estate, I don't think has the amount of SKUs that STG has. And
No.
Drew Estate has a lot of cigars. And they have the international. So the thing is, companies like Davidoff or Torfuente, STG, and then there's others, but those are the companies I think are being some of the most aggressive, trying to take over international markets, Europe, Asia, with everything going on with Habanos, which who knows.
Yeah,
Cuba doesn't have any oil or power right now, so they can't be making cigars.
I mean, Fuente has made a huge push internationally in the last few years. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I know their main guy, but he was brought in for a lot of that. So yeah, there's a lot going on with that. I think Rocky's also been pushing internationally lately too. So.
Yeah, that's true. He deserves to be in there.
Yeah.
Rocky's a big name.
Yeah.
Especially outside the U.S. But I think it's what I know the Perdomos and LFD, even those guys they've been going over to Europe and stuff like that. I know that they're over there, but I think that some of these other companies are really trying to really chokehold the entire world.
Perdomo's been an international company for a while now, so I mean, they and they're continuing to grow internationally. I mean, I was on the tour and I was with their distributors, I think from Madagascar and some of them from Czechoslovakia. So I was in Dubai and saw a ton of Perdomo. Italy, ton of. I'll tell you what. I saw more Perdomo in Italy than Cabanos.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize they had that such a reach outside the U.S.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, Italy. There were 3 main brands: Habanos, Perdomo, and Toscano. Is what I saw.
Really?
Yep, I had my Perdomo 30th in front of the Coliseum. That was my bucket list to do.
Oh, I remember that photo.
And
Yeah.
I have a bucket list. I have a new bucket list coming up. So it will involve the Andalusian Bull. So, yep, I'm going to smoke the Andalusian Bull in Andalusia when I go to Spain. So.
Yeah, that's always a good time.
Yeah. So that's the next. But that's us. Yeah, because I want to always go to Seville. That's in Andalusia. So.
Outside of STG, who had they had a big show, but they're just so big. So let's take that out of it. In the general average sense, who do you think had the biggest splash at the show this year?
Drew Estate.
Yeah.
Not even close. It's because of the stuff primarily that they did outside the trade show that made it big.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was definitely Drew Estate. The Jay Sand stuff was much bigger than I ever anticipated it would be. The Dominican announcements were huge. You know, it was Drew Estate. And it was back to the old Drew Estate where when you saw Jonathan at the Jay Sand area, that's how it always used to be at Drew Estate. Jonathan would be holding court. It was interesting to see him holding court there this year. Like, that's probably the first time maybe in 10 years that I've seen that. Not that he hasn't been at the trade show, but holding the court like he did.
Right.
Drew Estate's announcements are huge. Like, these are huge. This whole thing in the Dominican, it's not just opening a factory. They hired one of the best growers in the Dominican Republic, in Manuel Parada. So they are going dead serious into the Dominican Republic right now.
It's going to be interesting to watch. You know, it's one of those things that I think a lot of people kind of wondered when it would happen.
Yep.
They were so heavily involved with Nicaragua, and that was their identity, with like Nicaraguan cigars and Nicaraguan tobacco and this and that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know, you don't see the Padrones coming out with a Dominican cigar. It's not like it has to be done. But I think that given the style and things around Drew Estate, I think that's one of the brands that people did wonder, like, you know, like I could see you going over there and playing in the Dominican sandbox too, and like, when's it gonna happen? And I think it makes sense. It's not for me when to see them going this direction. It's not like what are they doing? It really does make sense, and I think that it's going to be an interesting journey for them.
I have talked to a few manufacturers, and they are telling me the whole Nicaragua thing is tiring on them. And I'm not talking about the political situation. It's a physically exhausting journey to go up to Esteli. You can't do the experiential things in Nicaragua that you can do in the Dominican. And Drew Estate's going to have a big experiential component. I mean, my guess is Cigar Safari will be resurrected in the Dominican Republic. It makes all the sense to do it.
It'll be easier to do, probably a little bit cheaper to do.
Yeah, yeah, it will be much easier to do, in my opinion. I mean, let's put it like this, Matt. You and I have flown, Nicole. We've all flown to the Dominican Republic. I don't have any problem going to the Dominican Republic, getting in an airport, getting in a cab, and going where I need to go. I'm not doing that in Nicaragua, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you land, and then you got to get on a bus for 3 hours and ride all the way down to Esteli. And then even then, I mean, you get there. I mean, I haven't been there, but I know because I've talked to so many people about it so many times. I know what it's like. It's not the same. But I'm not saying it doesn't mean that there's great tobacco there. Yeah, like it's. I mean,
I still think the best tobacco is in Nicaragua, so that's not going to change that.
Experience-wise, though, it's. I know what you mean. It's a lot more work.
I mean, if you're Perdomo or AJ Fernandez or even Drew Estate, I mean, they found ways to make the experiential piece work there, but they have the resources to do that. So, I
And
see
they're
a lot of
among the
companies
best
try
who
to
do it.
Yeah, yeah, they are. I mean, I've been on all three of those tours, and they're all different, and they're all great. Yeah, so
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think you make a good point with that, though. But yeah, no, I think they made the biggest splash. I mean, all around, farm, factory, everything with Jay Sand, couple of new lines tied in with, core brands. I mean, I think they really hit all the bases there. The fireside chat, the way they held court at the trade show with everybody, and they got the messaging out and promoted the product. Like they really did. They hit all the bases the right way.
those little 4-pack patakas of Liga Privada, don't underestimate what they did there.
Yep.
Because that's a move that we've seen. Like Davidoff's done that, right, for many years, right? They're the ones who did those 4-packs, and it's a great way to sell a high-end cigar. And Liga Privada always was positioned as their most premium brand. So I thought it was a brilliant move to do that. Like, you could go pick a couple of those up and go to a wedding or something like that and enjoy them, where you don't have to go get a whole 24-count box. And it's just an easy thing to do.
I agree. There's we got boxes of Davidoff, but once in a while when I need some because of a specific reason where I need a it's nice to be able to walk into Two Guys and grab a 4-pack of anniversary number 3 or the special R. I mean the special T or the double R, in the nice flat white box. It's nice. I love those. It really is. And for what it is, and when you need it, and I think that'd be nice to have the ability to do that with a Liga Privada, hands down.
Yeah, I do, and I thought those patakas looked really nice.
And they make great gifts too.
They do. They
if you want to
make
spend
great
a certain amount, but have it be, it's oh, you're going to grab a couple of singles and put it in a bag. No, you can go buy, you can spend $100-something on some Davidoffs or some Liga Privadas now, and they come in a nice little box. And it looks like a nice gift that you'd spend some money on. You know what I mean?
Totally.
But you're not buying a whole box, and it still has a nice presentation. I think that's nice.
Cigars aside, I'm also excited for the lounge in Miami.
Yes. Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
I did get a peek of it when I was there.
And what do you think?
Of course you did.
I think it's great. I wasn't allowed to take pictures when I was there, but it's great. It's going to be really good. It's... they're doing everything. The only thing I didn't get this chance to see is the rolling area. That wasn't done at all. But the bar is basically it kind of has a little bit of an old school vibe inside of it with a little Miami flair. So I think it's gonna be a destination. I was surprised at the neighborhood. I was a little worried about the neighborhood. Nah, there won't be any problem. Parking's probably gonna be the only issue they have there. They're probably gonna have the valet park if you're there.
It's in Wynwood, right?
It's in Wynwood, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We've been down there. That's the art district.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Story, right? I actually drove to the address and on a Saturday just to see where it was, and I'm kind of peeking out the window of the car, and JD sees me. I didn't know he'd be there on a Saturday, and he's looking, and he turns to Chef Julia, and he's like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Who's spying on us?" Right? So they come up to me, and then I roll down the window, and it's me.
And they're like, "Oh, it's you." And they're like, "Oh, well, come on in, let's go."
So here's the funny thing. So I'm there for a couple hours. We're talking, and part of it, they say, "Hey, what are you doing down here?" "Hey, I'm going down to Pro Cigar in the Dominican." And Jonathan gives me one of these interesting, so who do I see at Pro Cigar? Is Jonathan and the marketing team, right? What's the marketing team doing in the Dominican Republic? Like that. So
yeah.
I had a suspicion that there was something going on, but it wasn't what I thought. I thought they were going to be promoting the marketing of some of the tobaccos they've been getting, that Criollo 98, and I figured that's why they were down there. I didn't realize it was because obviously they have all this stuff going on with the factory and stuff. So that's why they were down there.
Yeah. It all makes sense now.
Yeah, it all felt together. Interesting. That's why he gave me an interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to see all that come together, and I'm excited for them. They're they're a fun company to watch, man. The way they evolve, you know, they're definitely different than everybody else. I mean, they're very unique in a good way. They are very
Yeah,
unique the way they do
yeah,
things.
they are, and you can't underestimate that show they had this year, which was a great show they had.
They did. They did. They might have been one of the if not the best
And the
company
other
on the
thing
floor.
I gotta give credit to Javi and their team. They
Yep.
really took the time. Javi's new in his role to really talk and get to know the media people, and I appreciated that.
Yeah. Yeah. He really did. Him, Desmond, you know,
Yep.
Josh Roque, Anfan, you know,
Yeah.
everybody over there.
Yeah.
You know, great people. You know,
Yeah.
Izzy spent a lot of time with people. Just, I mean, I could keep going down the list. I mean, they really. I spent at least 5 to 10 minutes with all of them. I mean, most
Yeah.
of them more than that, but like it was. It was great. Half the reps there, like my rep up here.
Yeah.
Sam, who used to be with Crocs, is now with Drew Estate. I mean, you have Jenny Lynn. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Great people over there. Really,
And
really,
and
really.
Glenn Wolfson is retiring. I do know Glenn.
Yep.
The leadership of his, you can't underestimate that leadership. He's one of the greatest CEOs I've ever seen anywhere, and I've seen a lot of good CEOs, and he's been there a while, and I know he's going to retire, and hopefully everything works out for him. But yeah, it was the sad piece is he's retiring, so I wish him. This guy. I mean, he called me on the phone. My dad died. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I did have a chance to interview him once, and he is a very interesting guy. He was the right guy at the right time for Drew Estate.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's overseen a lot of stuff over there. Nicole, I wanted to ask you, you did a lot of roaming around solo this year. So what did you like most about the show this year? I mean, it could be a release, a brand, a booth, experience. Trying to keep it on the floor, but
Yeah.
we can indulge in everything, I guess, at some point. But
I don't know about everything, but I don't know. It was a really good trade show. Like overall, I just feel like everyone's booths were going smooth. There was no drama of like people packing up early or like
nobody was fighting.
no one was
No
like
bad blood.
I
No,
like
it was very well done.
the
man.
energy was one of the best energies.
Nobody was really complaining about the show
Now,
or
granted, I
anything.
wasn't at the show last year or the year before, but like it was just a really good energy. People
Yeah.
were almost every booth was busy for the most part as
Yeah.
I was, going by it. There were some booths, most booths were put together. Most booths in general, I feel like were put together, but there were some that they still just didn't have a good amount of answers or anything for things. I don't know. Like I'd go up and be like, okay, so can you tell me about these cigars? And they're like, I don't know. It's like some, and not the bigger companies, but some of the smaller ones where you'd think like, okay, well, you're coming to the trade show. This might be your first one on the, on the trade show floor. And actually that was, it's funny because I have this in my hand. Howard G was one of those companies. The reps working this company had nothing. They knew nothing about the blends that they had on the table. Either they just didn't want to talk to me. Was one of them, but we had, there were a couple booths that I saw there for the first time that were really good. The Notorious Conor McGregor's line, they were very informative. That was their first year on the trade show floor. They were really good people. And then there were even some smaller companies too, like, where are those guys? And it's funny because you can tell when they make an impact because I can remember their story. They're both in law enforcement. It's Superior Standard Cigars, and they were dressed like Miami Vice, and that was their first year on the trade show floor as well. And they were kind of making their debut. But they had a great story to tell, and they had good energy at their booth too. So
We cut back our booze tremendously this year. We cut back from 90 booths to 37, and it was much. So there were a couple of reasons for that. One is we had a plan to cut the booths down all along, but the one bad thing we missed this year, because we had a couple people last minute who couldn't go for very good reasons. We got and Aaron Nielsen was one of those guys. He's the guy who's always scouting out the new companies for us, and we did not have that this year, so we did miss that one greatly. There were a few people we missed and fell on our swords, but at the same time we shot about the same amount of video as last year. So it was just we changed it up. We went to, and the nice thing about this for me, I was not tired every day like I was the last few years.
Yeah.
I was relaxed. It was great as far as that goes. So I thought, look, Josh said, I heard him say this because I did go to the media meeting this year. He called it a world-class trade show, and I can't argue it. He has gotten this trade show to a world-class level. This is how a trade show should operate. So I give him credit. I don't. There's things I disagree with the PCA's doing on certain things. Don't get me wrong, but that's okay. Trade show-wise, they've gotten the trade. They have completely. I never thought the trade show would get to the level it ever got to, like it did the last couple of years.
I agree. It was just like every experience, I feel like, was as flawless as it could be, especially for New Orleans being so spread out. They had a lot of information about where the after hours events were going to be.
Yeah.
If you showed up to those events, they were actually really well done compared to previous years. There was lots of entertainment and things going on. So even if you didn't have other plans outside of, those events, you still felt like you had a good night.
Yeah.
And, that's important as well.
I felt that. Yeah.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I agree with you and all that. Yeah.
There was a comment here from someone that said, did any of you get to try it?
I was going to save that for...
Oh, okay. Do you want to wait?
Yeah, I was going to wait a second before, because that'll kind of get us into a whole nother thing. But yeah.
We did,
wait.
yeah. But we'll get to that, yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna save that for when we got to Perdomo.
Okay.
But it's okay. I guess we're kind of rolling into it now. So
no one talked about them at this thing at the trade show. I had a chance to see this in their offices back in March. So
I think the focal, and I was going to say that.
I'll let you read it now. But.
Did any of you get the chance to try the Perdomo Pro Flame? I'm OCD about lighting my cigars, and I'm excited about trying it. We did not, but that's because I feel like the focal point of their booth was the new Legacy, so it wasn't really.
It was separate. It was a separate.
Yeah,
booth.
it was separate. So I just don't think. I mean, I didn't actually get a chance to see it. Now that I'm thinking about it, but
I don't think I did either.
I saw it in their office, and I'll tell you what. For the price point they're going to, this is going to be a monster for them. It was my most read article at the trade show, behind I think it was third. I should say it's third, but Padron and Fuente were the two that beat the Pro Flame article I did.
Huh.
We did cover it, but like I said, I didn't try it at the trade show. I'd seen it in Miami.
I mean, Perdomo executes everything to such a high standard, so I don't doubt it will be great.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick won't put his name on it.
I mean, remember too, they also brought in Michael Giannini.
Yeah.
And you have to start to ask yourself, how much did he have involved with that? I mean, after all the time he spent in the accessory world. So, interesting move.
Yeah.
I do need to follow up with them and get some more info on that. Because I agree. I feel like it kind of slipped the cracks a little bit for us.
But more so just because Legacy was such a
we had so much.
Well,
yeah.
We shot 4 or 5 videos at the Perdomo was because we had awards to give them. Bear had an award to give them.
Right.
So while they were doing that, I wandered over to Pro Flame real quickly, and kind of just got some info. But I had to email Arthur for more info when I got back because I just felt there was a few things I missed from that. But they have all the info on that stuff. So it's. Like I said, this is a lighter I'm absolutely buying. I can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah, when we have more information, obviously, we'll share it, and hopefully maybe we can get one we can have on the show and do a little demonstration with.
You know what's interesting though with this release? So Rocky Patel has been doing accessories for years, and they have some very good accessories. There is a Rocky Patel branded though. This one is not a Perdomo branded lighter. It's a lighter that they're basically selling on its own. I mean, they obviously could, I guess, put the Perdomo logo on if they want, but that's not how it's being sold. While the Rocky stuff's sold with the logo, this is kind of being sold as standalone.
Yeah, it's its own product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's showing the confidence they have in this.
Another person who was getting into or I guess more into the accessory game too, was Luciano.
Yes, yes.
And that was interesting to see too, because I think he had a lot of boxes and lighters and cutters at his booth.
So he signed a partnership with Fox Knives, and part of the partnership is that Fox Knives has a lot of types of accessories, but they do have cigar accessories. So it sounds like they're going to be working and partnering together. I think Luciano's going to distribute those Fox
Yeah.
cigar accessories. I did get a chance to see. They had that scissor cutter, or what is it? They had that there, but they hadn't had
Yeah.
anything new there with it. But yeah, that was a big announcement they made with that.
Scissor cutters are back. I remember those. I'm not dogging it. I just
It's not quite a scissor cutter. It's kind of unique. I wish I had the picture there to show it.
scissor cutters. I feel like they had their time and then they kind of like disappeared. You know.
I have still a
I do have
couple, yeah.
pictures of it.
I have several pairs. I've never used them, but like I have them. I don't know. The only one that seems to and I haven't used it, and the one I've always been curious about is the one that Ellie Blue has. It's not quite a full scissor.
It looks like an arts
It's
and
round.
crafts scissor. Yeah. Oh no. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about
it's
the
that
little round one.
It's a round. It's completely round. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that one's kind of interesting. But I've never used it. But yeah, I mean, and I know the one you're talking about too. Yeah. But like I said, I have a few different pairs of cigar scissors, but I never use them.
I have the Zycar ones. They're the best. I mean, the Zycar ones are.
Do you use them?
I rotate. You know, it's lately when I've been removing so many accessories, I haven't been using them. But I should review that actually. Because I used to use that quite a bit.
Me
yeah.
too. Me too. Should get some scissors up there. All right, hold on one sec. So we got a lot going on here. So Jay, I know you mentioned that STG and Altadas had a good show. Personally, I believe Iroa, in conjunction with its event in Morocco, had a stellar show and moved another level for me.
I think they had a great show.
Yeah.
I think they had a fantastic show. I thought that Tom Lazuka's cigar was one of the stars of the show. We had great hospitality at that booth this year. We spent a lot of time. We spent about 90 minutes in that booth.
I think I have one of those over here too.
Like I said, going to less booths allowed us to have more conversations this year. And no, I didn't get a chance to try the Aurora 1916 or the Arabian Nights, but I did try Tom's cigar, and it was. I smoked. I've already bought some from Jay. Let's put it like that. So, I agree with Jay. They had a, and we could talk a lot about that because what they're doing with this Pinareño tobacco, the Colombian farms now, a lot of stuff going.
What are you digging for?
I thought he was like looking through his lunchbox or something.
This is everything. This is everything from the show. This is Tom's cigar right here.
Yeah, it's actually that's not the packaging on it.
No, this is his personal because before it was
his
officially
personal
released,
cigars, right,
they were his
right,
personal cigars, and this is how he would hand them out. But he
went
he
with
gave
that
me
Detroit Lions black and blue actually.
yeah, which I thought was great because I know he's a big Detroit Lions guy, and sorry, I'm just I feel like I had some more of something else in
I
here.
think the boys are doing a great job. Event in Morocco, I don't quite understand it. I'll just kind of leave it at that, but I give them credit for doing something different.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it's interesting. You know,
Yeah.
it is. It's interesting. I thought Morocco was an interesting choice, but you know, whatever.
I have a lot. You know, I think they could have promoted their own event better, in my opinion. If you're going all the way to Morocco, you should have been blowing up social media with that. So that was but maybe more is to come with that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, look, they usually do a pretty good job with the stuff they do.
They
I'm
do.
willing,
I mean, like
I'm willing to give them some, all right, trust and see what they do.
Yeah, Aurora Dark's coming out. The new Aurora Dark's coming out. I've been waiting for that. Yeah, like I said, they couldn't have been nicer to us. And Bear had them as the company of the show actually. So when we had the team vote, Drew State won, but Bear had voted for CLE, and I couldn't really argue that pick. because they were doing so many things interesting there this year.
We had a question here. How clean was it? And I don't know I don't know if Joe's talking about New Orleans or the trade show itself.
We need a little bit more context.
I need some more. I will answer this, but please be more specific. Jay is Luciano, Rocky, Perdomo, La Galera, lots of companies going full steam with accessories, but nothing high-end like Brizard, Heli Blue, and the King, ST Dupont.
And you want to know, of all those, like of that second sentence, Ellie Blue and Bizarre, I just think leave money on the table. They do not do marketing in this country.
Yeah.
They do not market their products.
100%.
DuPont is constantly marketing their products here.
That's where Mike Reynolds drops the ball, you know?
And then I look at the first sentence. Luciano, Rocky, Perdomo, market. La Galera. I love La Galera cigars. I love the people at La Galera. We skipped them this year because it's too hard to cover them at this point. So, like I said, we had to cut back on booze. And so we really were focused on booze that we're doing, like, making big pushes this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It doesn't mean I don't like the cigars and don't believe in the blend, and I don't like.
I don't think we covered them.
Yeah, but
Same reason.
Something had to give. Like, couldn't do 90 booze again this year. That's never going to happen again. 37 booze, and then we missed. I know we missed some. I hated missing people, but that happens. I think you guys went to more booze than we did. I will be honest with you.
Well, the other thing too is that we were able to divide and conquer, whereas like you guys kind of all stay together.
We didn't do as much video, but we did get a lot of information for write-ups and photos and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, we split up last year. What happened is we had too much work. That was the problem. So, and it was like, that was the problem we had. And, we still had too much work this year. It was a little more manageable in some ways. So, yeah, that's what happened. Because I think you guys had over 4. I think when I say you guys had close to 50 when I looked at what you guys had.
Yeah, and I still think there's a few that we actually didn't get up because we had some stuff come up. And so some of our trade show coverage got paused.
But then also some people were just busy. Like we'd circle back to their booth. They would just continue to be busy. And then, the person that we would need to interview, they were done. It just doesn't always, work out the way you want it to.
Yeah.
I did get a sunburn, Mom. I did. I got burned in the sun today, but that's okay because I'm trying to even out my tan. So I got a nice glow coming in this year. It's nice. Everyone always tells me I look too pale. Well, not this year. Got a nice golden brown, hash brown color going in. It's nice. It's nice. Jay said, Charlie wrote a long article about Morocco, and it made me want to go next time. And then, how clean was the show? Or the trade show?
I thought it was very clean.
Very clean.
I thought it was yeah.
And to be fair, outside of the trade show, I also thought it was pretty clean.
Yeah, the city has cleaned up since that terrorist attack a couple years ago. But in general,
very clean.
I didn't see. I remember I've gone to trade shows in Vegas and I've seen like litter and stuff on. I have seen. There was none of that this year. It was a very clean trade.
It was clean. Everything was maintained.
And this is why, there were nice booths and everything. The aisles were clear. It was just. I hear people when they want to. Like I heard one person, they want to put a cigar trade show and want PCA to rent a building and put it in a bill. You don't want to do that because you want a world class venue where you get these types of support services with that. And I know you pay for that, but that's you want. And you know what? Josh got on the local news this year down there, which was huge. Getting our trade show talked about on the local news this year. So,
yeah, that whole we should just buy a building in the middle of the country. That's just stupid.
Have a flea market or a HERF if you want to do that. This is a trade show. Don't insult me with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just stupid. I don't know why people would do that.
And I can tell you from being in the corporate world, you don't want to get real estate's not a fun thing to invest in. Because not so much that the real estate's bad, but having to maintain a facility and manage a facility is a whole other game, is what I'm saying.
I think people also, like you said, they don't they underestimate the support services offered, like, having people set up the booths, the electrical that goes into some of these big displays with, with the hanging like canopies and like, there's so much more, having food vendors on site and having bathrooms accessible for everyone, being, compliant for the people that do have scooters and whatnot on the floor, because there are some people who need to be able to get around. Not that we, don't see a ton, but there are people who need, who have mobility issues that need that to get around. I don't know.
Yeah, it was very accessible.
Yeah, the aisles are very wide this year.
Plenty of room.
Yeah. There's so much room. Like, you didn't feel like you were on top of each other.
And that hall was sold out, front to back, side to side. There was funny. It's random thought. We were talking about this. So if you walk into the show, you got like Gurkha and I forget who else was right there. And then like Rocky was a little further down.
Foundation.
What was Foundation up front? This year?
Foundation was right when you walked in.
I'm thinking of last year when Foundation was like one like row back. That's right. They were up front this year. Yeah. So so my point, you walk in that way and you go all the way down to the left. The right is the gut that stops the food court. If you go all the way down to the left to like the far left side, I meandered down there briefly. Nicole was down there a little bit more, and they saw some things that were kind of peculiar. Like, do you remember that random Domino's table that was just like in the middle of nowhere?
There weren't that many spots, but yeah, that corner. There was like one corner at in the back of the trade show, and it had like one tiny folding table, like 3x3 with like Domino's on it, and like 4 chairs,
and like no one even close to it, and it was like
miles away from anything else going on.
And I'm not gonna lie, the thought like that's actually kind of cool. Like, you sit down and rock some Domino's, but it was sad that it was like it just seemed so like
lost.
Yeah, and like no one knew it was there, and it just didn't seem like it was. It looked like someone randomly just set that up and walked away. There was there was just nothing with it. And it was like, you would think that it would be like in like a PCA booth where it's like, oh, we got this going on. It was just kind of like out there, like just what is this?
And then the PCA had their kind of like bigger lounge area, but then I think, I don't know, maybe like 10 feet away from that singular table was like a tiny little like 3-seater couch or something, or a couple of like chairs. I can't quite remember, but it wasn't a large seating area. But like on the map it was marked as like, a secondary lounge area, but it like did not compare to the other larger one that they had at all. So I just don't know if it didn't come to fruition, but like they could have done something different in that corner. But if it was sold out, like, it'd have more booth space at that point, because no one, every time I walked close to it, there was no one for miles in that area.
So like that was a little peculiar, but like, no beef.
That's our only critique. Like,
it's not even like, oh, like the PCA sucks for that. It was like, it was actually like, it was kind of cool that they had it there. I just wish that they
more signage, like gaming area. I don't know.
Yeah, like dressed it up a little bit, like made it like, hey, like come play some Domino's. Because like, dude, if I knew it was there at one point, like when I had like 20 minutes where I was like, I would sit down and take a break, I would have sat there and played Domino's with Matt, 100%. I mean, he doesn't know how to play, but that's my advantage.
No, I agree. I thought that was cool to have that. I think there was one I think there was one miss the PCA had this year. It's a minor miss.
You can't even count it as a miss, really.
It's not
it's so little.
There's something, but it's not a miss, but it was disappointing. No Cafe Dupont this year. They had some other vendor in this year. It was not the same. The beignets were not the same, and the coffee was not the same.
Was it Cafe Beignet?
No, it was some unknown thing. It was. I think if you're gonna do, you set the bar last year with Cafe Dupont, and then you kind of bring in, spend a few extra bucks with that when you go back there in a few years. Bring back Cafe Dupont.
Everyone's gonna be like, oh, here comes Coop critiquing the food services again, like the nachos. It's like,
hold on, but he is.
No, I'm not. No. Hold on. I'm not. I'm on your side. Yeah. But I'm just, how the peanut gallery. Like,
I was just gonna say though, that Coop is the authority with all of his food reviews.
And not for nothing, and I'll say it for him. People are like, oh, like that stupid kid from Smoking Stogies there thinks his shit don't stink. He's like, oh, it's the food reviews. People ask Coop about the food reviews more than they do about anything else. So when he gives you a food critique, like, maybe it's worth listening to, you know?
It was like I told especially in the Dominican when I was at Pro Cigar, that everyone wanted to know what the Friday food review was going to be. I mean, that was what I was getting. Not my, like, you notice that Jay says that Charlie wrote an article on Morocco. Jay goes that day, oh, did you see Fred Rui's article? And I had wrote 2 articles that I was so proud of, and he's mentioning Charlie's article, and another guy's mentioning the food reviews. I'm like, guys, like, where's the love here?
I know. Now the food, I mean, we'll sidebar it a little bit. We ate pretty good down there.
Oh, we went to Cigars, and that place was incredible. It's a crawfish place, and it's out in the middle of nowhere.
So we did a few stops at Drago's, obviously. Have to.
We did one. But we were at different Dragos than you.
Yeah, you did. You did do different.
We were at Metairie. We were up in Metairie. You were the one on
the Hilton.
In the first quarter. Yeah.
Hilton. We did. So Nicole and Alana went to a fried chicken place. It had some real southern fried chicken.
Yes.
And then while they were doing that, Matt and I went to a southern seafood boil, which was, messy, but that's the only way it needs to be.
That's what we went to at Cigars, was one of those type of places.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Baron
we
and I
had a
split
whole bucket of crawfish, crab. Oh, yeah. Shrimp.
We went to
good.
Willie Mae's fried chicken, and I swear to God, it was the best fried chicken I've ever had.
Oh, I didn't know
It was
Willie
so good.
Mays.
Yeah.
Is there affiliation?
I don't know.
Is the
Maybe I
baseball
should
player.
remember.
Well, I know that. I don't know if she knows that.
I
Right,
don't know, but it was the best
Willie Mays Willie Mays is one of the best of all time.
fried chicken. And then I don't know.
And
I don't
then
think so.
we went to there's the steakhouse we went to that Carney said he went to like 4 times. I forget what it was called, but that was good.
Oh,
What was that steakhouse?
I'm gonna have to look it up now.
It was nice. I remember Carney was like, "Yeah, I went to this place." Like, and then we went. And I was like, "I'm at this place." He goes, "Yeah, that's the place." He goes, "I went there like 3 times." He
Bon
goes,
Ton Prime Rib.
yeah.
Why is that? I don't give a crap that Cafe Du Monde is approved. Make that friggin' happen. Don't give me that crap. I don't want to hear that. I'm sorry. You make that.
It's New Orleans, yeah.
You want us to come to bring this trade show back here. You bring Cafe Du Monde. You don't give us that crap. I'm sorry.
What was the other one that we went to? Oh, the breakfast place that we fell in love with. So we found this cute little hipster breakfast place called Bear Cat CBD. I don't know why it's called CBD. I think it's just because the district or whatever. But they had the best brunch that we went 2 days in a row and waited in line. It was so good.
And then, I think the best meal we had was the one we had the final night.
Oh, yeah.
The Asian fusion place.
Yeah, we went to an Asian fusion.
Like an Asian, southern New Orleans fusion type thing.
I think it was Sunchong.
Yeah, I think it was Sun Chong.
Yeah, Sunchong, Asian fusion.
Oh my god.
They had gumbo dumplings.
Oh my god. That place was. I was sad that we were leaving because I was like, I can't get this at home. I mean, it was. Wow. We did damage in there.
I did research on TikTok for weeks.
That place, I wish we went there in the beginning so that I knew to be like, no, let's go there again one more time. Because that was wow.
That was good too.
Wow. That was the best. You guys have to check that out next time you're in town. I mean, that is definitely a place to go.
It is the craziest
It was
fusion
high quality, we posted the photos of it on social media. You could I mean, that's definitely a place to hit. 100%. Not a huge place. But man, I'll tell you, the food that came out.
Yeah, you have to make reservations, but it was really good.
It was busy. You could tell it's a popular place. It was really good.
And then sidebar, we had that good German food the other day.
Oh,
well, yeah, then
okay. We got to talk about that.
Yeah,
Well,
so for those who don't know, right before the trade show, my truck got totaled. So, and I found out it was totaled during the trade show, so that was kind of shitty. But I came back from the show, and one of the things that I had to deal with was finding a new one. So I eventually, long story short, not going to get into why and all that, but I wanted something very specific, and I found it, but I had to kind of go a little out of the way to get it. And because I got just what I wanted at a really good price, but I had to go to Ohio. And I said, okay, that's fine, because, you know, it's not like I'm buying a TV, so it's worth it. So in the end, we decided, we're going to fly to Ohio and pick it up and drive it home. And we'll stop one night in like upstate New York. We didn't really have to, but it made it a more pleasurable trip. So Nicole planned this out. I'll give her all the credit for it. And she picked where we stopped because it was close to where we went to eat. And it was in the Catskills in upstate New York, lower upstate New York.
It was outside of Poughkeepsie.
You were in the
Outside of
middle.
Poughkeepsie.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did last weekend. So last Saturday, you know, we drove there. So right about 2 hours ago from now, a week ago, we were there. And I'll let Nicole tell the rest of that story, and then Coop can definitely chime in.
What do you mean?
I have a yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah.
It's just a really good German restaurant called the Mountain Brauhaus, and it's in the middle of nowhere, New York, is what I'm just going to call it. I don't say middle of nowhere. It's next to New Paltz. It's in Gardner, I believe. But I spent a lot of time in that part of New York just because I had an ex who was with for a long time. His family was from Wallkill, New York, which is in the middle of nowhere. So we kind of like would drive there all the time. But this German place is really famous. They have good schnitzel and wurst, and there's not a lot of good German restaurants in New England at all. So with Matthew's heritage being German, on our date list for a long time, has been wanting, I've been wanting to go to an authentic German restaurant with him, and there's just none here. So while we had the opportunity, it was worth the stop, I feel like. But Coop, I know you said that you had been there before, a long time ago.
Well, I had told Coop, I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to this German restaurant. He's like, oh yeah, that's cool. But then he didn't realize, and then he was like, oh, I didn't know that's the place you were talking about. And
It's
I'm like,
famous.
and I'm like, well, I didn't think there was that many German restaurants around.
I used to live and work up there.
Right.
So here, let me kind of give a little background. So Matt tells me he's going to Pittsburgh, Nicole, right? I said, you got to go to Primanti Brothers. You got to get a Primanti Brothers sandwich, right? And I knew he wasn't going to go, right? And
because we were so in and out of there, like it was, yeah.
So I said, I am going to give him so much crap, right, about not going, right? However, I didn't understand that the timeline that you guys had was to go to that place, right? And I know that place. It's been in business.
We were racing to get there too.
Yeah, and all I got to say is, yes, I would have absolutely given the priority to make it there, because that is an absolutely legendary German restaurant, and Brauhaus is the name of it. So, and I just love that. I've been there. My wife and I've been there because we used to live in an area we used to live in Monroe and Goshen, two areas.
Oh, okay. So I'm super familiar with So
Monroe's there's some very interesting towns in that area. So you guys were probably Brauhaus is actually it's on the other side of the river from Poughkeepsie.
Yeah.
So it's on the Monroe side. So it's about an hour trip to get up there. But they used to have that white bratwurst, with that veal bratwurst that was just out of this world, and the pretzels. Oh my goodness, those German pretzels were amazing. Yeah. So absolutely, Matt gets a total pass. And the other thing is, Primanti Brothers, I can understand not wanting to eat that in the car. It's kind of a new car. It's kind of messy. So you got off the hook with that one, Matt.
Yeah, there's a rule. There's no eating in that truck.
Yeah, that place is...
Listen, Primanti Brothers is not is a messy sandwich. There's no way around that, right? So, and I understand not having time to stop there. If you go to Brauhaus, I'm like, holy, I didn't, because you had said Albany, right, Matt? And Catskill, I'm like, yeah.
I don't know the area. I thought I knew what I was talking about.
He didn't know where he was.
I didn't know it was Brauhaus. I'm like, oh man, that place is I would have stayed 2 nights to go to that place. I miss that place so much.
The first time I went,
I've been there in 30 years, by the way. That's how long I have.
I mean, the first time I went was, like a decade ago, and it's still the same. It's the same place.
70 years. Yeah.
Yep. They've added though a food truck in the back, which I think is nice
okay.
because they're so they were booked all the way till till close. So at least if you can't get a reservation or whatnot, you can, or they turn you away, you can go and get food in the back, which is nice, and sit out back. They have like a little beer garden. So while we were waiting, because we didn't know exactly what time we were going to arrive, we did have like pretzels out back, with a beer.
We had a
went in.
Bavarian pretzel.
Yep.
And had a breakfast, and it was very good. It was good. It was good.
Oh yeah.
I had their German potato salad, which is served warm, without mayo.
Oh, the vinegar one.
Yeah.
Like
Forgot to
mustard.
have that,
So my family has a German potato salad recipe. And I know my mom's here, so my mom's going to chime in, and that's totally fine because she'll provide more information than I have to share right now because I'm trying to keep it going. But we make it a certain way. It's very similar. I mean, it's not anyone who knows like real German potato salad. It's not like the crap you buy in the container at the store where it's red skin potatoes with the sweet mayo and there's like nothing in it. No. Theirs was pretty good. It's different, but it was better than like the stuff you buy at the store. Ours has a lot more in it. They both share the mustard aspect of it. Ours Coop, you would love ours.
Yeah.
We'd have to do it. Well, the thing is that we do use mayo in ours though, and we do hard-boiled eggs. But I guess we could make a special portion without the eggs in it. I mean, do you do the mayo at least or no?
No, it's a deal breaker.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot about the egg aspect, but we put bacon in it with the grease.
I'm sure it's real. It's me. It's not the product. It's me.
It's fantastic. I've only ever found one that someone else made that is pretty damn close to the one that we make. But this one was good. This one was a little different, but it was still better.
It's funny you mention this because Primanti Brothers has coleslaw on their sandwiches, and Amy said coleslaw is a deal breaker with me, right? Not a Primanti's, no mayo. It's vinegar based, and it's an apple cider vinegar. It is so good, and it goes so good on a sandwich as opposed to lettuce. It's unbelievable.
Right.
Yeah.
So two things. So Luke, what's wrong with Ohio? There's actually nothing wrong with Ohio. It's just that it's out of the way, But I'll be honest with you. I got a better deal going to Ohio, and the people I worked with, some of the best car. And look, everybody knows going to buy a car sucks. We're gonna do it. You buy the second you walk onto a car lot, it's like, here we go. They come. They're like lot lizards. They come. Let's get you in a car. And they're doing everything they can to play some tricks on you, and everybody knows. But having said that, buying a truck of the caliber that I bought, sight unseen, and then showing up and that's exactly it's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted, and all that, and the customer service, and I told them, I go, I think this is the best dealership and the best salespeople I've ever worked with.
They were so nice and so polite.
Like,
everyone in Ohio was
there was no bullshit. There was no like, oh, you didn't tell me about that. There's actually an incident. And this was like the cherry on top for me. I didn't notice that there was just, and it's not even like that much of a damage, but like there was on the back bumper on the finish, there was a little bit of a bend that it's very easily missable. But I happened to notice it like a few days before we were supposed to go, and I texted the sales guy. So hey, not making a big deal of it. I go, I'm not trying to back out or anything like that. I'm taking it. But like, I noticed this, and we looked at it, whatever. He comes back to me. He goes, yeah, it needs to be fixed. He goes, I won't be able to have that fixed for you when you get here because you're going to be here in like 2 days. So this is what I'm going to do. I've already ordered a replacement from GM, and when you get it home, you bring it to your GM dealership. I'll give you my information. You have them call me. I'm going to pay for it. We're going to fix it for you. Don't worry about it. I'm like,
oh wow, that's business, man.
I didn't even have to ask. If I was at a dealership here, I have to fight tooth and nail for the free first oil change. This guy was like, I showed up. He opened the bed and he goes, there it is from GM in the box. It's all there. I'm like, it's ready to go for you. I'm like, service.
They also picked us up from the airport. To the
They picked us up at the airport. Like I didn't have to pay for a rental car. Nothing. Like,
wanna say
so no,
you
there's
guys were
nothing
about
wrong with
7, 8
Ohio. Ohio is good people.
I want to say you guys were about 7-8 hours away from Brauhaus. That's not close. Where
It was
you
about
guys were.
7 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, with traffic, it was like 7 hours 45
We did
minutes.
hit what was that, a tractor trailer that rolled over?
Yeah, there was a accident, so we had to.
That slowed us down a
detour
little bit.
but-
We got off and went around, but yeah, we drove through Amish country for that one. But yeah, no, that was it was good. It was good. Joe Seymour, you got I got a GMC Sierra AT4 white.
Yeah.
Summit white.
Yeah.
It is. It's nice. I love that truck. My mom grew up in Woodburn in the Catskills. Okay, yeah, you guys all know that area better than me. Oh, I see. Domain is here. It's interesting. I assume that Daniel just tuned in, but I'm finishing the attenuation.
Great cigar.
Great cigar. And
Great.
I've been meaning to get in touch with him because I want him to come on the show for an interview with me and Nicole. So, I'll tell
Who's
you.
still listening.
I hope he's still listening. I don't know why this keeps popping up. If you're still here, drop me a DM, send me a message. Let's get you on the show so we can talk about Domain.
What a great company.
Yeah.
They were one of our companies going into the trade show, and they lived up to every expectation as well. So they and the whole project. I got to meet Kevin Baxter too. What a great guy he is as well. He's the guy doing Pariah cigars. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to get him on too. He was really nice.
I
He
want to
spent
get
some
him.
time with
He's
me at the booth.
he was just and like he he's the co-founder. He was a co-founder of Asylum.
Yeah,
He
Okay. Yeah.
very humble.
Very humble. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So
Yeah. This was
Got a
great.
long-
I'm actually getting ready to start something new, but I smoked this. This was good. I really liked that. I hope I have some more in there. That was really good. Something I didn't go out to eat real food. I was doing something called working. Yeah, I believe me. I know how that
Yeah.
goes. I know how that goes. Primanti's is solid. They have one on the beach in Fort Lauderdale. When you get drunk at the bar, McSorley's next door. The food at Primanti's is even better.
Oh man, I love Primanti's. I'd recommend the New Yorker sandwich there, and the burger are the two I recommend.
Yeah.
They have a gabagool sandwich there, which is pretty good too.
They got the gabagool?
They have a gabagool sandwich, yeah.
Matthew's been on an Italian sandwich kick.
I don't call it a kick. This is my life. I've been just making the time.
Oh,
I do it right. I do it right. I don't do ham and salami and
no. That's
No.
why if you come to Charlotte, I got to take you to either Primo's or Lee's Hoagie House, and that's what I mean. They have,
Can I have the
real
table?
old school Italian meats. All those soppressata, mortadella, gabagool.
When I make mine, I usually do it with mortadella, capicola, soppressata, prosciutto. I might do multiple. I might do like a sweet and a hot capicola. I might do a couple different salamis. I do a provolone, fresh mozzarella, roasted red peppers, banana peppers, the oil
That's
and
the way to-
vinegar.
That's the way to do it.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. None of this, like, you go to like the chain, and I love Jersey Mike's and all those places, but like
That's why
they don't know how to make an Italian sandwich.
Primo Hoagies is a chain, and they're not up by you. They started making their ways down by me. I'm telling you, best chain sandwich shop in the world. They're highest scoring sandwiches on Cigar Coop consistently. Their chicken cutlet's amazing too. Their cheesesteak actually isn't great. That's the one thing I'll say that isn't great from them. But their chicken cutlets, their roast
Well, we don't
pork
want to get into the whole cheesesteak thing. Sorry, I had to do it.
Yeah.
Oh boy. But yeah, I promise in the future I'll hit Primanti's. Let me
Yeah,
get
like I
caught
said,
up.
you get a pass for what you did, and like I said, I probably would have told you don't eat that in the car either. So that's you got
Yeah,
the car,
no.
I told you get
No.
a pass on that one. It wasn't like going to Junior's and skipping on the cheesecake like you did that time.
I didn't know. I made up for it though.
You did, and you absolutely did. Yeah.
I'm not a New York guy. I wouldn't know. I mean,
Yeah.
in Boston, Juniors doesn't mean anything. Now I know.
And here's the other thing about Primanti's. It's kind of like Nathan's in New York. You got to go to the original one in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I know what you
Yes,
mean.
They have chains, but it's the same as like Nathan's. There's only one Nathan's. It's that Coney Island one. I'm not even gonna be able to get to Nathan's this time when I go to New York next week, unfortunately. So, but I have other plans.
The what was I gonna say? Yeah, that's like here in Boston, like Regina Pizza. I think Regina is probably my favorite pizza that we have here. And there are some chains locally, like franchises, but the original old one in the North End with the neon sign. I mean, that's where you go.
Yeah.
I mean, they make the best one.
Yeah.
So I definitely know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've talked about the trade show. We've talked about some of our adventures that we've had. We weren't going to go too late tonight, but I wanted to maybe hit on maybe like one or two other things before we wrap up, just that are kind of in the buzz right now. What would like? I know that you had a couple of things you wanted to bring up, but what's probably like your biggest thing?
Listen, I think right now, PCA has to be looking at this thing in New York, and to give them credit, they were on top of it. I didn't like the way the information was disseminated. I'll just leave it at that. But they're on top of it, and I think they need to take a all hands on deck approach right now, and they need to be all over this New York thing, and they need to be on it 7 days a week for the rest of the year. They need to have someone every day addressing this. He needs every day to address this because if this generational ban passes in New York, it will absolutely have domino effects in this country.
Yep.
And
Guaranteed the next two states after that will be Mass and California.
Yep.
Right. Yep. And
Hands down.
I don't want to hear it's not a risk. It's a risk.
And believe me,
Can't mess
it's a risk.
They said it wasn't gonna. They said Tobacco 21 wouldn't pass in New York City, and it did. So I'm just saying they need to have. And look, I know PCA is doing a lot of good stuff, and I know they're focused a lot internationally. You need to be on top of this 7 days a week, and take this absolutely seriously as the biggest threat right now. You don't want to have another situation like Tobacco 21 and like what happened in California. You need to put all your guns out there, show you're doing everything, and if it doesn't work out, that at least we can say, hey, you didn't leave anything on the field with this.
I have to, throw out the negative comments when they're really deserved. And once upon a time, a few years ago, when during the early part of these generational bans were coming about, which started in Massachusetts, around here, and, well, really in the U.S., to be honest with you, because in the uppity snooty town of Brookline, Massachusetts, they have it. And it's one of the places that it went into first. And I remember asking Glenn Loop about it at the show. Like, hey, and he turned around and he looked at me and he was like, people need to calm down and stand by and, like, don't be afraid of this and blah, blah, blah. Well, it went in. And I've had a few people actually reach out to me recently privately. And I love him. He's a good dude, but I don't know. Because I've had a few people reach out to me privately and say, hey, could you help me get in touch with him or someone else at PCA? Because I've been trying to get in touch with him and he won't get back to me regarding, legislative stuff. And I think, now that I think of it, I think this New York thing was that thing. And it's like, well, why are people having a hard time finding you? This is what you're supposed to be doing. And definitely I hope you're taking it seriously. Not like the Brookline, Massachusetts, when you told me to stand down and stand by, and like now it's, now it's in. Well, New York State is different than Brookline, Massachusetts. That is a real problem. Yeah. So I am going to throw that out there because you need to hold people's feet to the coals on issues like this, because if you don't, that's how bad things happen.
I don't want to hear Big Tobacco needs to fight this or anything. I
want
this. Yeah.
If I have to send a message to Glenn, look, it's done with love, and sometimes you got to have tough love to people. Dude, take this seriously and be on it and be doing this. I really hope that they're not just hanging back like, well, no. Like, you need to make this your number one priority.
Yeah, it really does. Look, I'm not trying to be...
And people can go, oh, Glenn, Matt Tabacco said it on the show last night. Go ahead. Tell him. Like, he needs to hear it.
Bear and I in 2017 was the first year we were doing the show together. And when the whole thing started with Tobacco 21, we said if the cigar industry, which basically what they did, they laid down their guns. And they said, Tobacco 21, they almost embraced it, right? Because they were saying, "Wow, it shows we're this an adult product." We said, if you guys do that, they're gonna go for generational bans. We said
Yep.
that was gonna be the next step. Don't do that. Put up enough resistance, make it tough. Where even if the Tobacco 21 went in, then there was so much resistance that maybe you wouldn't try to do this again. It would be harder to do it again. Well, now this is happening, and it happened in England when no one said it would happen in England either. By the way.
Yep.
You have a British citizen sitting right next to me.
When
She'll
I
tell you
lived in
exactly
England,
how it happened.
Which was, I mean, a long time ago now.
Don't
But
say
you could still
you're-
smoke indoors.
Yeah.
Like you could still smoke
Don't-
in pubs.
Yeah. Don't say it can't happen. It
And
can't.
when I lived there, the smoking age was 16 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in Egham in 2019. I was
Yeah.
smoking in a hotel room.
Yeah.
So
But it's just changed so much in that
Yeah.
time period. It's gone from like 0 to 100. You know, you could buy cigarettes at 16 or tobacco products at 16. You could smoke inside, and now it's generational ban. And plain packaging
Yep.
and everything.
Yeah, I know.
and so it's like I said.
But see, like
you have
this is one of those things, right? The New York bill is still stuck in committee. I doubt it comes to a vote. The governor is also likely to veto. She said,
please
no,
don't even examine. This is,
no.
I
And
told
and
her
I'll be
to-
honest with you, I'm gonna get political. Kathy Hochul cannot be trusted. So just that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna debate anybody. She can't be trusted. So don't play that game either. It was something like this is serious. You don't play that. You don't. No, you fight it to the end. You fight it to the end.
If
It
you
doesn't
are
matter.
If you are complacent, you are gonna lose something.
Yep.
That's the thing. You have to put up. You know, how did we win we didn't win the American Revolution because we had better military than the British. We won the American Revolution because we made it so difficult for the British to win that they pulled out. That's how we won the American Revolution, and that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
We didn't have
100%.
better armies than them. I mean, they had better armies. They were beat, but we made it tough for them. Is what we did, and that's what you have to do here. You have to make this tough. Thank you, Luke.
Yeah. I mean, it's you know.
We sit by too much, and we sat by. Matt, I saw this happen. Oh, you know, we want, you know, indoor smoking. Hey, we just want a separate area for indoor smoking, right? Where we do it. People, okay, so we can give them the separate indoor smoking area. What was the next step that happened? No, we can't have any smoking indoors. You guys got to go outside. So they build the outdoor patios, and what happens? No, you can't smoke within X number of feet. So those outdoor patios went away. This is what happens when you do that. You give an inch, they take a mile from you.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
This is unacceptable. To even, like I said, they need to fight this. This is where this is what I want to see them do. I'm glad they got ahead of this. This isn't something that, you know, it sounded like that they have been ahead of this PCA, which is good. I would have liked to have seen a media kit go out to the media explaining everything, and so we could report on it better. But okay, at least they're on top of this, and they put out a advocacy alert, so I can't really fault them on that.
Let's not have a repeat of what happened last year, and everyone was mad when I called them
Right.
out about UTL and the Texas advertising thing, and well, let's not do it again. Did we not learn our lesson?
We sat back. What happened? What happened when we sat back? Oh, it ain't gonna happen in California. I'm telling you, that's what that's what I heard from people. Oh, we weren't worried about that because we didn't think it was gonna happen in California.
Yeah, just saying. I know it's uncomfortable, but like it's the truth.
Yeah.
You can't sit by because that particular group of people who usually does this crap, that's what they do. They just
Yep.
like to keep on coming.
Yep.
That's what they do. You can't let them win. You know, they're just so nuts.
You have to take it as, oh, this is a threat to your livelihood when you do this. You absolutely. I mean, even if it's a long shot, don't let the window open on these things. We've seen some of these things. Look at some of these things, the way they sneak into other bills at the federal level and stuff like that. You cannot. You have to put up a lot of resistance on that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. So I'm glad PCA's ahead of this. I am. I am glad
Yeah.
that they're ahead of this one.
Yeah. Right. Fight this tooth and nail. That's right. You fight it. You fight it
Yeah.
hard. I mean, we're not playing games here.
I will say that so I'm still on the Massachusetts list for PCA, like, alerts
I am
and
too.
whatnot.
Just to keep an eye on it.
And they did, and Glenn sent one out at the end of May asking for volunteers to help shape advocacy in New England specifically. And he said it wasn't gonna, obviously take over. It said this umbrella organization will not replace any existing state association, but it's just going to assist.
They need
Well,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
good.
a good move.
So
Good move. Good move.
I wish
just-
they had that
so-
2 years ago, but
yes, but trying. So I'm just saying, like, you know, they're attempting to do this. And I think part of it too is participation. So,
Yeah.
you know,
And-
there's
and
not
by
a
the
lot
way-
of cigar retailers in Massachusetts
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
So you know, they can only do so much.
Yeah. And by the way, CRA is not off the hook on this one either. They need
Oh.
to be on top of this one. Yeah, they
Oh,
need to
yeah.
absolutely on top of this one too.
oh yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to hear, well, we're kind of going to keep this quiet, but, you know, no. This needs to be out there every freaking day right now.
This should be the biggest thing being talked about in the industry right
This
now.
should be, you want PCA, like they have done a lot more with social media. Get on top of your social media and start just blasting this stuff out every day. Like, and treat it as though it's the worst threat in the world. Spend the money on it. This is one you spend the money on. It will pay off in the long run for them, I believe. A lot of people agree with me on this one, and us actually.
Well, yeah. I
Except
mean,
one person, but that's okay.
well, is the one person in the industry?
You hear the comments going in there?
Oh, him. Oh, well, you know.
Alan. I mean, Alan's like, wow, it sounds right. Yes, it is a threat. It is a threat, Alan. It is a threat.
I just believe it's unlikely to
Treat
happen.
it-
Yeah, well,
treat
that's when it
treat it-
happens. Is when you're like,
Treat it
it's not gonna
as a
happen.
threat. Treat it as, and get ahead of it early. Yeah, it's not in committee. Get ahead of this shit early.
You got to put
Don't
an end to it.
wait.
Yeah.
Don't wait. So good for PCA for getting ahead of this one, actually.
That's like having sex with a girl you know has HIV, and you're like, well, she don't have AIDS yet. It's like,
Yeah.
what? That's the mentality. That's literally the mentality. It's like,
Yeah.
no, just don't do it. Like, don't take the risk. Like, put an end to it.
What happened in California? No one knew about it. That was the problem. No one knew about it. There was no awareness made of it, right? And look what happened there, is what I'm saying. With someone's that would never happen.
Yeah. It's not just specific states. Everyone needs to protect our brother. Well, it's true,
Absolutely.
but
It's right, yeah.
but the truth is, no matter how much certain people don't want to admit it, some states are far worse than others. We know this.
This is where we need to get all behind our friends in New York, or our enemies in New York, whatever you want to say. We need to get behind New York but fight for New York on this one. This is a major battle that could be brewing here.
The first step is advocacy.
Yeah.
You got to get people together.
Yeah.
You got to get people together.
And
There's
awareness, if they don't
Awareness. You got to get people informed, get people together, get people to know what's going on. And then the PCA has to also, first of all, they should be, if they haven't already, they should be preparing to file some sort of lawsuit against this.
Oh, I'm sure they are. Like I said,
That's
I don't
the
have
next
any-
step.
I have confidence that they're going to be doing something on it. It's just I just think I just think, like I said, it just needs to be a very, very hard line here, and it needs grassroots support here. Is what I'm saying. I think this one absolutely needs grassroots support for it to stop this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
this
agree.
is one where I do believe it needs the grassroots support. And I saw a comment on the strategy. The strategy piece, I get. You may not want to tip too much of your hand on that one. I get that, but yeah, grassroots. There's no reason why you can't have grassroots on this right now.
And Daniel, so we were one of the only 3 companies to show up in the UTL meetings in California. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Daniel was on top.
Not that he went. I mean, but like, why are, so you're one of 3. I don't know who the other 2 are. Maybe he'll share with us. I'd love to know. But I can tell you that there's a hell of a lot of companies in this business, especially big ones with the money, who can send a proxy or a lawyer, someone to show up and be like, well, what's going on here? Only 3 of you went? One of them's a small guy. He took the time. He made sure he was there. All the big boys, you couldn't send anybody? Like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, we're looking at you. I'm not looking at Nova Cigar. I'm not looking at, I'm looking at the big guys, the big 4. All everyone else. But we also know that the rumblings are that some of the big 4 wanted this to happen because of their association with CAA.
I don't know about that, but because I know there are people in CA.
J Tour and small batch. Okay, so none of the upper middle to major companies showed up. Every single one of you. Every single one of you should be ashamed. Every single one of you. There's no reason. You have the, especially some you got the money and the resources. Send somebody. That's BS.
Yeah.
I'm just calling how it is. I mean, it's true. He's right. He's right with this comment. Like, we were one of 3 people, and then the 3 people are all small people. He's right. And this is how this shit happens.
Yeah.
And then you got this one right here. In the stupid high taxes, and some of these states are stupid. Yeah, I mean, and then you get the taxes things.
Yeah.
It's just an attack on all levels. The meta thing we should celebrate. It was a big deal. But we also said when that happened, don't get too comfortable, because what happens now is that the states are going to try to attack this little piece by piece, and this is how that this is how that happens. This is it.
Yeah. We beat that one to death.
I know we did. Well, it has to be. It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. You have to. This is how you make sure that people know about it. You know what'll happen is that some of these people, which I hope they do, will go and be like, oh, going off on so and so. Yeah, good. Let them hear it. Maybe they'll do something about it. That's how it happens. You go on these shows and you talk that way. You don't just come on and be like, we're here to make friends with everybody and talk good about every cigar. No, you have to say the negative things, because that's how you get these things out there and you get people paying attention. And people don't have to agree with me. That's fine. I don't give a crap. But it gets the attention and people are on it. They read about it like, maybe it creates a controversy, but then people know what's going on. I just wish more of our fellow people out there did that. Instead of treating everything like one big party all the time. Anyway, that's my soapbox with it. But anyway, this is a good stopping point. I think we're going to save the rest for the next show. We unpacked a lot here. We really did. But this was good. We covered a lot. It was a good time. Thanks for everyone for being here. Appreciate it. Coop, what you got coming up this week? You going away again next weekend?
Yeah, I'm gonna be at the Titans and Tobacco event in Greenwich.
That's right.
And then I'm going there, and then I'm gonna do a few days off in New York to see my mom.
Well, I don't know. You might have to make an excursion up to the Brauhaus.
No, it's good. That's about 3
Too
hours
far away.
away. Yeah, that's not gonna. I'm on a tight. I'm not even going to Manhattan. So
yeah.
Well, part of it's with the Knicks going on there. It's crazy in the World
Cup. Oh, that's yeah.
But honestly, I love going to the outer boroughs. That's really where the best restaurants are, and so I'm gonna be up there, and I got some travel coming up for like vacation. So we got the Rockies next month, so that's gonna be very exciting.
Yeah.
My wife and I going to Rockies. Yep.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be fun.
Yep.
Well, I'll have to report on us when you get back.
Yep.
You always have some. You always have some good stuff. So.
Yeah.
But
a lot of.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you gonna say?
No, I'm gonna have a lot of good stuff for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, food experience. It's usually like there's a lot. It's always good. I love your input.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's our Saturday night show here, guys. Thanks for being here with us. If you're here with us live, and if you're listening to us later, we appreciate you downloading the show. And if you don't, like and subscribe everywhere you get your podcasts. And as always, head over to smokeandtobacco.com for more news, reviews, and updates from the cigar industry. And with that, we say good night.